friends, coworkers, or family at Madsen's Bowling and Billiards, just south of 48th and Holdridge.
Good morning, Breakers. This is Scott Miller from Midwest Bank. When I recently joined Midwest Bank, I was immediately impressed by our exceptional service. My first customer made the switch from a large corporate bank and didn't have to wait in line or call a 1-800 number. We treated him like family. He now visits the bank just to say hello. While other banks go corporate, we stay Nebraska. Visit us at midwest.bank or drop by a branch today. Your community, your bank. Midwest Bank. Member FDIC.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet. KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Koppel Chevrolet GMC, and on behalf of the entire Koppel team, we would like to say thank you to all of our loyal customers and employees that have allowed us to become one of the most successful GM dealerships in the country for the past 50 years. So we are celebrating that with some huge discounts. Right now, we have up to $13,500 off MSRP or 0% APR on select new models, and new Blazer EVs are leasing for $279 a month with zero down. So check us out online at koppelcars.com. All deals with approved credit. See dealer for details.
Back Nine Golf in South Lincoln is the premier indoor golf experience in the state. The weather in the winter months is cold, windy, and as unpredictable as a tee shot on the 450-yard par 4. With top-of-the-line full-swing simulators and a PGA teaching professional, Back Nine Golf is there to help you improve your game and lower your score. Back Nine Golf is open to the public with 24/7 access for members. Learn about Back Nine's variety of memberships today and see the facility for yourself at 7501 South 15th Street in Lincoln, just south of 14th and Pine Lake Road. Back Nine Golf, your premier indoor golf and events destination.
When it comes to keeping your equipment running, you've got options at Landmark Implement. Whether you need premium John Deere parts or a more economical solution, A&I parts from Landmark deliver the dependable performance you can count on with cost savings up to 40%. From filters and bearings to belts and everyday repairs, A&I parts are built to work as hard as you do while helping stretch your budget further. Stop by your local Landmark Implement parts counter today or shop online anytime at shop.deere.com and experience the Landmark difference.
Finally, a good reason to have a smart house. Just say, Alexa, play 93.7 The Ticket, and we'll magically start playing. How's it work? Nobody knows. Don't ask questions.
I am Harrison Arns, producer of Ticket Weeknights and Weekends right here at 93.7 The Ticket. My favorite things to do in downtown Lincoln are checking out all the local sports events, whether it's basketball, football, volleyball, or even Lincoln Stars hockey. I enjoy it all because I get to experience one of the best sports communities in the country.
This message is brought to you by the Downtown Lincoln Association and 93.7 The Ticket.
93.7 The Ticket is proud to provide listeners with daily opportunities to win contests and prizes on our airwaves, and would like to take this opportunity to remind you of a couple rules. All participants must be 21 or older and must wait 30 days after winning a prize to participate in another contest. Once you win, you have 30 days to pick up your prize at the KNTK Studios, 1040 O Street in Lincoln, or your prize will be forfeited. Thank you for participating in our contests, and thank you for listening to 93.7 The Ticket.
You've got used to one segment of Good Takes in the morning, but now there's a full show of Good Takes at night. Welcome into Raff's Good Take on Sports on 93.7 The Ticket.
Welcome in, Raff's Good Take on Sports. Happy Monday, happy Monday, happy Monday night, everybody. We've had a great time here at the Ticket so far. A lot of different conversations. Nebraska basketball, obviously. Nebraska football and spring, obviously, going on. And then we just had All In, Ridge Lovett and Caleb Smith talking about wrestling, Nebraska wrestling, geared up for postseason play this weekend. The Bowlers just capped off third-place finish at the Stallings Invite in Greensboro. But now, Raff's Good Take on Sports here on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Raff, how we doing on this Monday night?
Greetings. Doing pretty good. Weather's been nice. That's always a positive. So good way to start the week. Man, yeah. I'll tell you what, a lot of sports going on. By chance, did you happen to catch the PGA Tour tournament this past weekend?
I saw a little glimpse of it. I saw it was how it was neck and neck throughout. I saw a little bit of that. There's a lot going on. And Tyler Reddick, NASCAR, 3 in a row. Michael Jordan, another three-peat for MJ. And in a sense, he's the owner of the 45 there at 2311 Racing. That's going on. March is here, and there's so much going on, Raff. But yes, this golf tournament that was this weekend. Masters coming up, but yes, I caught a little bit of it. Didn't catch the end of it, but heck of a time for sports.
Yeah, the end of it was crazy. Shane Lowry had a huge lead going into the final day, played good golf all week, and he goes double bogey to he went 2 double bogeys, and then he parred 18, but it was already too late. He had to eagle to tie just to get a playoff. So man, that is so devastating when you think, I mean, he'd flown in his friends, and I believe he said his daughter was there, or one of his children was there to see his first victory on tour, and then for that to happen, I guess it would be called a meltdown in the golf world. But so that was nuts. I was just thinking about that because I was just like, man, I know the feeling. Double bogeys are a part of my life. And then you got Nebraska basketball doing their West Coast trip. Interesting game. I thought the first half it was. I kept on saying to myself, Nebraska, play your game. It felt like Nebraska was trying to play USC's game a little bit too much in that first half. And by the video that came out with Coach Hoiberg at halftime, I think that he felt the same as I felt. He kind of lit them up a little bit and told them to play their game, and they came out and played good in the second half and were able to get the first victory of their West Coast road trip.
Yeah, and it had similar vibes to that Minnesota game a couple weeks ago, where Nebraska was down a couple points at half. Minnesota made some tough shots. USC did the same thing. I mean, Chad Baker-Mazar made some tough shots, some threes went the way for the Trojans. And then Nebraska just kind of, like you said, Freddie Hoiberg kind of got on him in the locker room. There's that video on social media going around. Similar vibes to that Minnesota game. Like, USC is a much better team than that Minnesota team is, but it just felt the same. Not because they're wearing similar jersey colors as well. I mean, last time they played that mustard versus ketchup kind of game with the colors, Nebraska red and the Minnesota gold, or whatever you want to call it, yellow, and USC as well. But Nebraska was able to just flip the switch. I mean, 51-31 in the second half. We're outscoring the Trojans 42-19 at one point. And Nebraska was able to just, like you said, play their game and be able to leave no doubt. I don't think anybody really questioned it when they were down 5 at half. Nebraska has been in a similar situation where the opposition's been up by a couple points at halftime, and Nebraska has just been able, all right, let's regroup the troops, and that's what Hoiberg did. And Nebraska was able to go out there, and Price Sanford, I mean, man, when I heard he's only had a couple of 30-point games, I thought they were lying. It feels like he's had 30 plus a lot of times this year, but he's been in the 25-ish, 29 range a lot. But I mean, he's clicking on all cylinders at the right time. Nebraska, obviously, down at half, but still, I don't think anybody had no doubt Nebraska was going to be able to kind of flip the switch and return the favor and get out with a win on the West Coast.
Yeah, it's so weird because sometimes you get to halftime and like you're down 5, but you're thinking, oh, no, Nebraska will be fine second half. So I love that confidence there. But then there's other times where I'm sitting there going, man, if Nebraska would piece together a complete game, I mean, the results would be quite impressive, just for the fact that they're able to kind of fumble around there in the first half and then come out and play great basketball the second half. So I guess going into the tournaments, I guess they got 2 more games left. They got UCLA on Tuesday, which, holy cow, that post-game show is going to be fun for you guys.
Yeah, it's me. It'll be me. So what the plan is we're going to have our normal programming as is. You, DeMornay, me from 11 to midnight. And then right when the game gets over, I'm going to be the only one here, more than likely. We're going to have post-game midnight Central Time or whenever the game goes over. People are joking with me. They're like, knowing your luck, Nick, it's going to go to double overtime or something like that, or something crazy is going to happen. I mean, that'd be a memorable game. I live for the late night games. I'm a Pac-12 after dark lifer. I know. I rest in peace, Pac-12. I mean, it's coming back more than likely with the conference reshaping themselves, but I live for this. I stay up and watch like Nevada was playing somebody the other night. UNLV went to double overtime on Saturday. Stayed up and watched that game. So the only difference is I'm sitting right here. So it's not crazy difference, but I'm excited. It should be a fun one. UCLA is a team that is sitting as 8-9 seed right now for bracketology, but they also just lost a tough one to Minnesota on the road on Saturday, and they're a very interesting team. Raff, they have beaten some really good teams at home, like Purdue in the final seconds, and Illinois. Donovan Dent goes coast to coast to win that game in overtime. but they've struggled away from them. They played, Michigan State, Michigan. They got blown out in both those games. So it's interesting. They are very good at home, though. That's what worries me. But Nebraska, they've been able to answer all the calls, win games and low-scoring games, win and high-scoring games. They've been able to answer the call, and they're pretty good on the West Coast part. Pacific Northwest trip last year went undefeated, and then USC. Was it pretty at all times? No, but a win's a win.
Yeah, it'll be interesting there too for you. I'm hoping that Austin will be able to give you a call after the game too and talk to you, because usually Mick Cronin in his post-game press conferences is a dandy. So hopefully he'll have some quotes for you from that press conference, because I'm guessing it'll be the same old from him. Every post-game press conference, I feel like he says something that you just kind of raise your eyebrows and it's just like, wow. So I'm guessing you'll get another fun quote from him before it's all said and done on Tuesday night.
Plan is Austin is going to attend the coaches' press conferences, then report back about half hour into the show, but it'll be me and the Texers till then. But yes, Mick Cronin, he's always kind of been a character, but he always, win or lose, always has something to say. And it's always something interesting. And he's kind of been in the headlines, but it's weird because that game happened, Michigan State game, where he ejects his own player or whatnot, and then kind of snaps at the media or whatnot. That game happens. And then a couple days later, they come back and beat Illinois. It's a very interesting team, and they're really good at home. They have one home loss this year, and that was to Indiana in double overtime. They have one home loss at Pauley Pavilion. Nebraska, a little bit of history here. So Nebraska and UCLA have only played twice so far. They played last year where Nebraska got the win. The only other time they played was the 2016-2017 season, November 25th, a Black Friday game in Fullerton, California, in the Wooden Legacy tournament. Nebraska lost that one 82-71. So they've never played at Pauley Pavilion before.
Actually, that's false.
It's false? Really?
That is false.
The UCLA the website is wrong. Then they don't honor the rest of history outside those two games.
Is there a listener listening tonight that knows when Nebraska played at Pauley Pavilion?
This is go for it. What is the history behind this game? Because this is weird, because usually the websites on the team's websites are pretty correct. So that's wild. Nebraska's is the same way. Let me see if I refresh Nebraska's real quick. But that's I was curious because Nebraska's really never had a chance to play.
It's kind of a trick question.
Did they play a game there play somebody else there? Not UCLA?
No, they played UCLA at Pauley Pavilion.
Okay.
And any listeners, any texters out there make any guesses on when we played there?
Was it an NIT game or something like that? I'm just trying to think.
There you go. Look at you.
I was thinking regular season. Come on. That's regular season history. Postseason. That's a technicality, Raff.
Anytime Nebraska plays at Pauley Pavilion in 1985 and Reggie Miller's on the opposing team, you've got to remember that.
Is this like Dave Hoppin time frame then for Nebraska? Dave Hoppin playing?
Oh yeah, 1985. Yeah, that would have been NIT 85. Yeah,
second round. Yeah, I have it. 84-85. Nebraska won the first round game. Dave Hoppin led them in scoring and rebounding in the game. Nebraska lost 82-63 in that game.
Yep, Reggie Miller was playing for UCLA.
Crazy. Regular season though, 1-1 all time. Regular season all time, 1-1. So that's why we're here. That's why we're here. We're here to educate, and I like it. So that's a crazy throwback the clock. 84-85.
What's funny about that too is I remember Nebraska playing that game, but I did not know that Reggie Miller was on that team. I just found that out tonight. I was just like, holy cow, that is crazy. So you had Reggie Miller playing against the Nebraska Cornhuskers at Pauley Pavilion. That was, I believe, Kent Pavelka's only trip to Pauley at the time for him. So
interesting. UCLA's website does not honor that game. Nebraska, you got to go into the postseason history to honor that. But regular season all time, 1-1. Last year, Nebraska got the win. The regular season meeting, that November 25th game in Fullerton, a guy by the name of Lonzo Ball was the point guard for UCLA. So Isaiah Roby was coming off the bench at this point for Nebraska. Like Ty Webster was still playing, Glenn Watson, Ed Morrow. So there is some history, but very little. It's interesting because these teams played last year in the regular season, but outside of that, You just got two other times. One was an NIT back in the 80s, and the other time was Lonzo Ball before he dropped his own shoe brand.
Yeah, and then also too, it's such a huge game for Nebraska. Just the impact, the way that their schedule is shaping up. There's a lot of teams in front of them that are losing. We moved up to 9th in the polls. Nebraska, I mean, as crazy as this sounds, Nebraska still would be, I think, is in play for a number 1 seed in the NCAA tournament.
A lot of things can happen. I mean, we've seen it in past, college basketball. A lot can happen. If you do well in the conference tournament, Nebraska, this game's also important. Every game's important this time of year, but Nebraska can clinch a triple bye in the Big Ten basketball tournament with a win against UCLA and maybe a number 2 seed. And then sitting here in March now saying that is wild because last year they didn't even make the Big Ten tournament.
I remember, I remember. That's so crazy. I remember. This has been my entire life, basically, is Nebraska gets to the tournament. It's like, well, if they can maybe win 1 or 2, maybe they have a chance at an NCAA tournament bid. It is so like these waters are so different this year to the fact that, well, we've already got the NCAA tournament. Now we're playing, for seeding, for a higher seeding. And then the way that it sets up is all Nebraska has to do is win on Saturday and Sunday. It's on Sunday. Sorry. If they win on Sunday, they clinch a spot at the triple bye. And then it's just a matter of, what they can do to get that number 2 seed. I mean, it's incredible to see where Nebraska's at right now. And being, having to not possibly play until Friday, their legs are going to be fresh. It's crazy. I mean, I still remember so many years and sitting there and going, well, maybe Nebraska could win 1. And if they could win 2 games, they'd have a chance to maybe get a low seed bracket. But I mean, now it's like everything is out in front of them. I'd love to see them, get it like a 2 seed. I mean, a 3 seed would be awesome. I'm not going to complain with that, but I mean, they got a lot in front of them. I really think that if they get the victory against UCLA, I just don't see them dropping the game to Iowa at PBA. I just don't think on Sam Hoiberg senior day, there's no way Nebraska's losing at home against Iowa. No way, no how.
Final time to watch Sam Hoiberg at Pinnacle Bank Arena. I mean, there might be some tears in the crowd seeing that being his final game. People have enjoyed watching his journey from coach's kid, walk on to scholarship player to in the starting lineup, spark plug, glue guy, whatever you want to call him. But yeah, Nebraska 2 seed, a 1 seed is not out of reach. I mean, college basketball, there's still games to be played. You got Duke playing North Carolina this weekend. Right now, Iowa State is losing to Arizona 37-25. Arizona more than likely going to be one of those 1 seeds, but a team like Iowa State falling, they've played some tough schedules. They've won some tough games like Kansas. But a team like them falls, Nebraska back, chopping at the bit for maybe a 2 seed. A lot can happen. A couple weeks ago after Nebraska lost to Iowa, people were like, oh, maybe a 4 seed at best. And now Nebraska handles business against Maryland, USC, and some dominoes fall. They're right back in that conversation for potentially not only jockeying for a 1 seed, but also a 2 seed potentially. A lot can happen. And then the Big Ten tournament, like you mentioned, Nebraska's, plays Friday, got rest the legs for a bit, and then play a quarterfinal game, then play a semifinal game against more than likely another top-ranked team. And then if you win that Big Ten tournament, I mean, you're the last game before the selection Sunday happens. And if you win that, yeah.
Oh, sorry. I was just going to say, and also with the KenPom ratings and stuff like that, it looks at the scores stuff, correct? Like scores throughout the year. Is that how that works?
Because it's a very analytically driven thing. But yes, in Nebraska, with the schedule they've played, the wins they have, and the quad 1s and quad 2s and whatnot, Nebraska also only has losses to 4 tournament teams.
Correct.
So they have a very good chance at, let's just say they lose in the semifinals of the Big Ten tournament to, I don't know, let's just say Purdue or something like that, or Michigan State. You only have 5 losses. Let's say they run the table, they win the game against UCLA tomorrow night and beat Iowa. You only have 5 losses going into, the NCAA tournament, and all 5 of them are to teams who are either a top 3 seed or, Iowa being an 8 seed. You have a pretty good chance because Duke has slipped up from time to time. A lot of teams slip up.
Yeah, and I also think too, you look at it, I know Michigan's won the regular season title, But you go into the Big Ten. I mean, get way out in front of our skis right now, but that's why we're on the radio. We can talk about that. If Nebraska goes in and somehow wins the Big Ten tournament, and if you get the win over, say, Michigan in the Big Ten tournament, and then looking back, at the season, the people, making that projected the seedings, Nebraska losing the close game in Ann Arbor, missing 2 of their players, I'd almost say Nebraska would almost get the push to get the number 1 seed, because I feel there has to be a number 1 seed that comes from the Big Ten. I would have to.
Without, I mean, you have Purdue, you have Michigan. Michigan looks like they right now currently probably. I mean, they lost to Duke, but Duke is also really good in a rare non-conference game. But yeah, this is a solid team, and and the Big Ten conference has always been like one of those conferences where it's like, okay, they have to have a number 1 seed. They have to have a team that stands above the rest. And
could you imagine Nebraska as a number 1 seed?
It'd be wild. I mean, you have teams, if you put like Duke, Arizona, UConn, and Nebraska in the NCAA tournament. If somebody told me that at the beginning of the year, I've been like, what are you talking about? Are you okay? Are you sure about this? But now it's like, it's a reality potentially. If some things fall into place, Nebraska has to win out. I don't think they can afford a loss, but like I said, UCLA has been pretty good at home against anybody, and they're going to be a tough team. They're in a situation where they have to try to bolster their resume, where they need a win. If they have wins over Purdue, Illinois, and Nebraska at home, and they're sitting at 8-9 seed, you might have to put them as a 7 seed, and that could help them, because then they maybe get like a 2 seed, and maybe a team like Iowa State, maybe get them in the second round in the NCAA tournament. I mean, hypothetically, that who knows? Who knows? We've seen it where 7 seeds can make runs, 8 seeds can make runs. That's why it's the big dance. That's what makes the magic of March so special. And you not only see that in collegiate level, you see it in high school. It's a fun time, and the month of March, not only for basketball, it's huge. And we've seen it. Nebraska doesn't even get a chance to play in the Big Ten tournament. Just how it is. This year with the men's tournament, they expanded it to include everybody. But you're in a situation now where you have a chance to really control your own destiny and put yourself in a really good position come March. And to be one of those last undefeated teams with Arizona and Miami, Ohio at the time, that's not forgotten. And Nebraska did lose. Michigan didn't have Rink Mass, didn't have Braden Frager. I think that also helps for the committee being like, okay, Nebraska competed with maybe, the Big Ten regular season champion without 2 of their top 4 scorers. It's crazy to say, but you probably have to take that into context, I would say.
Yeah, I would think too. If say somehow Nebraska plays Michigan in the final and is able to defeat Michigan in the final, it's what have you done for me lately type, people making the brackets, and then going back and looking at the head-to-head in the regular season and looking at the situation. I don't know if they go that in depth to look at the players that were missing, but being that Nebraska was that close, and then if they could somehow get a victory, on a neutral site, I think that I just feel like that would push Nebraska over the top. I mean, that's way out in front of our. I'm good with let's get the triple bye. Maybe get 1 victory if we're able to somehow pull out a Big Ten tournament. That's great, but nothing less than a 3 seed would be fantastic for Nebraska. I mean, heck, what are we talking about? A 4 seed wouldn't be the end of the world. It's still going to be the first time since 1991 to where they've had a seeding that was, I think they had a number 3 seed back in 91, I believe it was. But it's just like to have that opportunity to actually play a team. I thought, a couple years back, we got Texas A&M, and they were probably the greatest. Were they a 9 seed that year? I think it was an 8-9 game that.
Yes, 8-9, and Wade. That was a Buzz Williams team. Funny enough, Nebraska just saw them, and that was Wade Taylor's hitting threes left and right, and against Keisei Tominaga and that Husker team, and they were just red hot that game. They could not miss, and they had so many different guys step up. It's funny that you met that was a Buzz Williams team, because this Buzz Williams team that was here the other night against Maryland, you could kind of see kind of the vision that he had instilled in that team, but not a good Maryland team, but they were playing some of their best basketball at that moment.
Yeah, no, it was interesting just to watch that, because a team like that a couple years back kind of gave Nebraska fits, and that now it's like I feel like when Nebraska plays its game, they're hard to beat, and that is what I preach and I preach and I preach. I'm like, play your game, and let the chips fall where they may. Be consistent with your game. It's even like I've looked at the football team over the past years. It seems like we're always trying to play somebody else's game, and it's like It's like believe in your talents and believe in what you do. Believe in your execution so much to where you play your game and make them, make them come to you. It just feels like, Nebraska sports for the longest time was always trying to conform to what the other team was doing and always trying to, adjust. It's like have the confidence, to play your game. And I think this is what Nebraska basketball is doing so well this year, is like when they play their game, like, Fred Hoiberg, he was preaching it at halftime. It's like, play your game. And they came out, played Nebraska basketball, and they're tough to beat when they're playing their game. It's when they try to, do something that they are not, that's when they find themselves in a little bit of trouble.
USC did a good job of kind of getting Nebraska kind of out of system. A little bit of turnovers happened. And Nebraska, though, the thing that I took most is Nebraska won the rebounding battle convincingly in that game. 41-25. They had 18 offensive rebounds. When Nebraska was on that losing skid of Illinois and Purdue, everyone was like, oh, got to rebound. Nebraska did just that. They rebounded. And UCLA is a lengthy team, but they're not a great rebounding team. So Nebraska, I think, like you said, play your game, play your strengths, do what you got to do. And that flight back from the West Coast with a 2-0 record and a triple bye in the Big Ten tournament would feel pretty good. I would feel that flight home would be pretty nice.
And then you don't even have to worry about a letdown. That's the best thing about this game is if they're able to get the victory at UCLA, there's no chance of a letdown because there's no way. I mean, I think the players probably want this Iowa game about as much as the fans want this Iowa game. So I see no way that even if Nebraska's to get a convincing victory at UCLA Tuesday night, I do not see a letdown for Nebraska basketball in any way, shape, or form going to play Iowa on senior night or senior day, I guess.
Senior day, yes. So before we go to break, I found an image here I wanted to show you. So here is the 84-85 UCLA team throwback way back Monday here. The team that won the NIT that year, 21-12, the Reggie Miller, they won the NIT tournament. So I found it real quick on Google. So this is the team.
Was George Raveling the head coach?
I'm looking real quick. The head coach was Walt Hazard. Was the head coach?
Walt Hazard. Okay.
Walt Hazard. Lineup was Brad Wright, Nigel Miguel, Montel Hatcher, Gary McCollin, and Reggie Miller. Reggie Miller was a sophomore that season. UCLA finished 5th in the Pac-10 at the time. That's what it was. 21-12, 12-6 in conference play, and they beat Nebraska in the second round of that tournament at Pauley Pavilion. And Reggie Miller was a sophomore.
He was the second famous Miller on campus.
Who's number one?
Cheryl Miller. His sister was an absolute beast. Gold medal winner, just absolute crazy. Scored 100 points in high school in a single game. She was incredible. She was an absolute baller at UCLA.
A couple of these guys were former NBA players too. Played a little bit of time in the NBA and whatnot too. Most of the starting lineup. So Dave Hoppin went at the best of the best, and they beat Montana, Nebraska, Fresno State, Louisville, and then they beat Indiana at Madison Square Garden. And Reggie Miller wouldn't be the last time he played at Madison Square Garden. Sorry, Knicks fans. Sorry,
I doubt Spike Lee was there for the NIT final.
No, I don't think he was, but he probably knew who Reggie Miller was a couple of years later. I would assume so. But we're going to take a break. When we come back, Raff's Good Take on Sports. We have another special segment, not a top 10 ranking, but it is a all-time lineup for Nebraska basketball. Tough. It'll be tough, but we'll do that when we come back. You're on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Stop into Zollner Ford Beatrice for Truck Month. Check out 0% financing with approved credit on all F-150s excluding Raptor. Or save up to $11,000 off MSRP on select 2025 SDX and XLT models in stock. Check out many service specials as well. $20 rebate on the Works package or up to $50 off new brakes and rotors. Maverick, Ranger, Super Duty, F-150, or Bronco. It's Truck Month at Zollner Ford Beatrice, Nebraska's volume dealer with the hometown service you expect.
Tune in to Outside the Box from 4 to 5 p.m. for everything you need to know about the Lincoln Stars. Join head coach Rocky Russo and play-by-play voice Alex Fern as they sit down with special player guests to tell the story of the Lincoln Stars and give you all the news and notes you need from around the USHL. That's Outside the Box with the Lincoln Stars on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Are you looking for a fresh new hangout spot? Let me tell you about Liquid Assets Sports Bar, where Mondays mean new weekly drink and food features. With 23 taps, a full lineup of cans and bottles, and 40 TVs blasting every sports package out there, you'll never worry about missing a play. Savor high-end spirits at their stylish top-shelf bar, enjoy a healthy menu, family-friendly atmosphere, and catch all of your favorite teams every day. Doors open daily at 11 a.m. Liquid Assets Sports Bar, located at 2755 Jamie Lane in South Lincoln.
In a world where Wi-Fi battles rage and bandwidth is never enough, one family dares to connect it all. Work from home, influence all day, stream all night, and game to win. Deadlines, downloads, and dance-offs, all happening under one roof, flawlessly. Can your internet provider do that? Fiber fuel your household at allofiber.com/all-in.
Get rid of pesky critters once and for all with Bats to Rats. Their expert team is here to help you reclaim your home. No more sleepless nights caused by crawling critters or flapping wings. Bats to Rats ensures a safe environment for every family member. Check the website at batstorats.com for amazing offers. And if you mention this ad, you'll receive $10 off your initial inspection cost. Call Bats to Rats today at 402-781-8691. That's 402-781-8691. Bats to Rats.
Hey guys, this is former UFC fighter and mixed martial artist Anthony Lionheart Smith. The Upside Bar and Lounge in South Lincoln is the go-to spot for every UFC event, prelims, and main card. There's never a cover, so make sure you get there early and stay late. Upside Bar and Lounge has daily specials, a margarita club, and a taco club. And don't forget, they just added Buzz Bowls to their menu. Learn more about upcoming events by visiting UpsideBarLNK.com and stop into their South Lincoln location for every UFC event on 27th and Pine Lake.
Hey Husker Nation, this is Todd Euler, two-time national champion, here to talk to you about Window World Lincoln. At Window World, we specialize in replacement windows, doors, siding, and roofing. Whether you're looking to enhance the beauty of your home or increase its energy efficiency, we've got you covered. And here's the best part. We offer the best for less. Our team is dedicated to providing top quality products and exceptional service at affordable prices. We want to earn your business and make your home improvement dreams a reality. So why wait? Contact Window World Lincoln today at 464-7313 or visit our website at WindowWorldLincoln.com. Window World Lincoln, where quality meets affordability.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait. Apply now.
If you want to make new floor shopping easier, come to O Street Carpet. Hi, I'm Steve Carper. Our flooring professionals can help you choose the best flooring for you, your family, and your budget. We eliminate the confusion. Even better, you'll be enjoying your new flooring much sooner. No 6 or 8 week waits. We'll install right away and save you money on installation. Floor shopping made easy every day at O Street Carpet.
O Street Carpet.
1732 O Street. Family owned and operated.
Big value and big flavor meet at Wings and Rings thanks to the all-new delicious Duo Combo. This is the one you've been waiting for. Get one half-sized appetizer and 2 entrees with a side for only $19.99. Bring a friend for the best deal in town on any day of the week, during game time, or whenever the heck you want. Their made-to-order wings and chicken sandwiches are waiting for you at their 68th and O and 40th and Old Cheney locations. Stop by Wings and Rings and celebrate every day with the best meal deal in town.
Hi, Charlie Stone here, and joining me is Andy Goodyear with Honda of Lincoln. Before I bring Andy on, we want to wish you joy, success, and good health in 2026. Andy, are you there?
Yes, I am, Charlie. And by the way, that was well said.
Andy, I know you want to kick off 2026 with a bang. What's going on at the dealership?
We got a lot going on here, Charlie. We have incredible savings on every new remaining 2025, New Year savings on every new 2026, special low long-term financing, and special lease rates. The biggest news is we have more than 400 new 2025 and 2026 Hondas to choose from.
How about pre-owned?
We have over 125 pre-owned and certified pre-owned Hondas right now with prices starting at under $10,000, and we have special low rates.
Well, maybe it's time you experience the best. The Honda of Lincoln way of doing business. 27th and Yankee Hill Road, or online at hondaoflincoln.com.
Back to Raff's Good Take on Sports on 93.7 The Ticket. With all the good takes you need, here is your host, Chris Raff.
Welcome back to 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. You're watching on Facebook, X, YouTube, or Alley. He's got a shirt on. Look at Raff. Raff's wearing his 93.7 The Ticket shirt and everything. Locked in here on Raff's Good Take on Sports. Raff, you corrected me about Nebraska Poly Pavilion. I'll correct you. Cheryl Miller actually went to USC, not UCLA.
Oh, really?
Yes, she played at USC. Me. So yes, but yes, we're holding each other accountable here.
So she was so Reggie Miller was the most famous person on the UCLA campus. So Los Angeles, though, she was the most famous Miller. There we go.
There you go. Yep, in California, Miller, tough name to come by down there in the Golden State. But Raff, what do we got here for this second segment? This is a fun one.
All right. So I was thinking, talking Nebraska basketball, we go position by position, and we name the top player at each position in Nebraska history. And we can name, I think we named two, like a first teamer and a set and the first person coming off the bench. So we started at point guard, shooting guard, small forward, power forward, and center in Nebraska history.
Interesting. You're gonna have much different picks than me, because my first Nebraska ball season was probably 2007, 2000. I remember my first team I remember seeing was like Cookie Miller, Sek Henry, Ryan Anderson, Alex Marich, and stuff like that. Ryan Anderson was on that team. Ade Daganduro. Those are the names I grew up on watching Nebraska basketball. Were they great? No, but Alex Marich, from Sydney, Australia, I remember seeing him play. Ade Daganduro a couple years later. And whatnot. So a little different, but I'd like to hear your point of view and some of the other ones. Now, I'll throw out some honorable mentions from my time, because obviously I'm missing some of the, the greats, Cookie Belcher, Dave Hoppin, Pikowski, and whatnot. There's so many good names. So I'm curious what you came up with here for this list.
And actually for the career stats too, for Alex Marich, he's up there in a lot of career charts. So he could be a possible, second team center, third team center, possibly for Nebraska. I have a few other in mind, but
he was pretty good on this.
Yeah. We'll start out at point guard. Okay. So at point guard, my first team point guard would be from Mexico City, Missouri, I believe is where he's from. I'm gonna go with Tyronn Lue. Tyronn Lue is my starting point guard, best point guard in Nebraska history.
I think that's needed. That there's no questions there. I mean, there's some really good point guards. Like I can think of that. I really like some guards Nebraska liked, but I think he has to be on that list just because what he did, and his numbers hanging up in the rafters for a reason. And he's still representing Nebraska to this day, coaching the Clippers.
And then my second team point guard. This one's a bit of a challenge for me, but I decided I was going to go with the prototypical point guard, probably in Nebraska history, an assist machine. Number 20 from Indiana, Brian B.C. Carr, the all-time assist leader for the University of Nebraska Cornhuskers. I thought about maybe going for more scoring, but I think just what he did, just from the assist game, the way when you think prototypical point guard in Nebraska history, it seems like he's the guy for me that comes to mind. So I have him at number 2.
So I have the all-time assist in front of me. So Eric Strickland had 414. Tyronn Lue had 432. Deron Boone had 446. Cookie Belcher had 477. Brian Carr had 682. It's miles ahead of everybody else. But yes, those are your point guards. So random point guard. I'm trying to think of just obscure Nebraska players that I remember growing up. Nebraska. I mean, Glenn Watson was one of the fan favorites, point guard and whatnot. Benny Parker counts as a point guard. Benny Parker was a fun. Was he a starter? But no, he's a nice little shorter guy, undersized, and he's able to kind of be just scrappy for some of those Nebraska teams that are really good. So just some random point guards that I just remember.
So the question I have for you and the listeners. Does Sam Hoiberg creep up into maybe that top 2 list if they're able to make get a victory in the NCAA tournament, or get 2 victories or 3 victories? I mean, for what he's done over the past, 3 years, would he get talk for being one of the top point guards in Nebraska history now? I mean,
hey, if you become a March legend, you're forever remembered. I mean, I'm not comparing Nebraska to St. Peter's, but remember St. Peter's basketball was nothing before then. But Doug Eggert became a sensation because or Jack Golke at Oakland. Those guys became household names. And, Sam Hoiberg is obviously a well-known name here in Nebraska, but imagine, Nebraska is a national TV game and a 3 seed or whatever, whatnot. Starts winning some games, getting to another weekend in the big dance. Sam Hoiberg will be all over social media, all over whatever. Like, man, look at this guy. This guy's, this guy rules and everything like that. And you'll see that all over. And Nebraska, he'll take the nation by storm. That's the best part about March in college basketball.
Well, I was thinking about it. There's this possibility that I doubt the AP that the writers will give him consideration for all Big Ten, but I think that coaches poll it could surprise people, the all Big Ten coaches, because all those coaches that have given him so much respect and so many, compliments and stuff after the game, if he was somehow to, get a second team all Big Ten nod or, possibly a first team all Big Ten, chances are probably a little bit slimmer for that. But if he does something like that, I think you've almost got to think about throwing him into the top 2 point guards in the history of Nebraska basketball.
Steven in the chat throws out Jack Moore as another name.
Oh man, yeah, definitely. He's got an award named after him for the best under 6 footer in the country. So, and you talk about a guy that would never miss a free throw. That was Jack Moore. I mean, so Jack Moore has got to be in the top 3. Yeah, top 3, maybe even number 2, possibly over Brian Carr. So, yep,
hey,
I agree with Steven.
There's only so many roster spots on a basketball team and so many point guards you have. So.
I know, but man, Brian Carr and his assists. I mean, you got that prototypical point guard in that. That's a tough one. But I think I'm going Lou and Brian Carr for now. But I think there is a possibility of Sam Hoiberg overtaking if we get that very first NCAA tournament victory and what he does with postseason awards. So possibly Sam Hoiberg moving on up.
Shooting guard. I would stick with the guards. Who you got for shooting guard?
Okay, shooting guard. I'm going to go with Eric Strickland, and who would be my number 2? And this is going to sound crazy.
Go for it.
Price Sanford.
I mean, yeah, the 1-year body of work, maybe most threes in a season in Nebraska history. Also, Big Ten. I mean, hey, it's not crazy when you're putting up numbers like that. Which one would you start? I mean, if you have Price Sanford coming off the bench and he's making 9 threes a game, that's a good thing to have on an all-time team.
Well, here's the deal. I think Price has got 1 more year left. If he decides, comes back, if they sign the proverbial contract, whatever, if he returns back, I think he would. If he has a season like he had this year, he would probably overtake Strickland as the number 1. He has the potential to be the best shooting guard in Nebraska history.
When you mentioned shooting guard, I'm trying to think of some random shooter like Ray Gallegos. You remember Ray Gallegos?
Oh, yeah, I love Ray Gallegos.
Good three-point
bomber.
First year in Pinnacle Bank when he come in and he just hit a 3. That arena erupted. So he's there. I'm trying to think of other Siobhan Shields. I put him at small forward. If I had to. I'm trying to think about some other shooters that Nebraska had from time to time. But yeah, Nebraska has. I mean, there's so many guys with positionless basketball nowadays too. It's hard to. Like, is he a guard? Is he a forward or whatnot? But yes, I mean, Price has to be that guy. I mean, the way he's been playing, it's not crazy to put him on that list.
Well, see, that's kind of what I did. So going on to the small forward position.
Here we are.
That's where I kind of, because Eric Piatkowski, you could maybe call him a shooting guard, but I went big that he was 6'7". I went small forward with him. And now he's my number 1 guy for small forward is Eric Piatkowski, the Polish rifle from Rapid City, South Dakota. Absolute monster. So I have him at small forward. So Pike is my small forward. Yes.
Who's your number 2 behind him? Because there's a couple different ways you can go here.
Yes, my number 2 behind Pike. You might throw out yours and let me see what you say. And
a couple names, like I mentioned, Siobhan Shields. Like he was more of a slasher to the basket kind of player, and you don't really see that nowadays. Taram Petaway was another one I was throwing out there, And then I'm trying to think if there's another one that kind of jumps out to me. Those are the two guys right off the bat that kind of really jumped out to me. But those two I would throw out there just, because I was in high school when that Nebraska team with those guys made that run and won that No-Sit Sunday or whatever. I was like a freshman in high school. So that was a core moment. Funny story about that team before we move on. So we had school that Thursday when Nebraska played Baylor, or that Friday or whatever it was. And the game was like at 1 o'clock or whatever it was or whatnot. And I did not want to miss this game because I had to go to, 2 more periods of school. So I convinced my mom, I had to talk this up to her and be like, Mom, this is a big deal. Nebraska has never won a March Madness game. They're playing Baylor, a team, it's a big deal. So she calls the school and I'm like, I got to go to school. I got to be there to whatever. And I get called down to the office at 10 o'clock and they're like, oh, that looks like you have a doctor's appointment or something like that. And I'm like, okay. I'm like, I don't remember this. And then it clicks with me. Oh, my mom called to get me out early to leave. So that's
wow.
A funny story how I got to watch the Baylor Nebraska basketball game. It was a loss, but hey, I got out of school for it. I remember seeing Duke lose that game, lose a game and get upset in the first round. So yeah, so that's, hey, I graduated. I got graduated from the university here, so it all matters. But yes, that is how.
So it didn't ruin your education by no means.
For 2 hours or 3 hours, no, it did not. And I got to see Tim Miles pick up 2 technicals and get ejected in that game too. What a time to be alive.
I remember just kick it back to 1983 and begging my mom to take the day off of school so I could watch the 1983 draft. I ended up going to school, but it ended up working out well, all in all, because nothing happened with the Broncos in Elway that day. It had to wait 5 days later when he became a Denver Broncos. So it all worked out, and we all made it through school, and we were good to go. But I still think she should have let me take the day off of school.
Another name I would say in that small forward, Bryce McGowan's, is a small body of work, but what he's been able to do with himself in general in that smart, wasn't a great team, but he was a really good player. And in that short time he was here. So, who's your last guy there before we go to break?
It might have to be Bryce, because I'm kind of thinking back. Oh, I'm throwing this one out for all my old heads out there.
Oh, go
Rick
for it.
Richardson, the Iceman, number 44, Ray Richardson. Yeah.
You're called the Iceman. I mean, that's a pretty cool name. So I will take it. We're going to wrap up the all-time team. We'll go to the post, power forward, and center when we come back, and then Raff's good take of the day. Come up here on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Are you looking for a fresh new hangout spot? Let me tell you about Liquid Assets Sports Bar, where Mondays mean new weekly drink and food features. With 23 taps, a full lineup of cans and bottles, and 40 TVs blasting every sports package out there, you'll never worry about missing a play. Savor high-end spirits at their stylish top-shelf bar, enjoy a healthy menu, family-friendly atmosphere, and catch all of your favorite teams every day. Doors open daily at 11 a.m. Liquid Assets Sports Bar, located at 2755 Jamie Lane in South Lincoln.
In a world where Wi-Fi battles rage and bandwidth is never enough, one family dares to connect it all. Work from home, influence all day, stream all night, and game to win. Deadlines, downloads, and dance-offs, all happening under one roof, flawlessly. Can your internet provider do that? Fiber fuel your household at allofiber.com/all-in.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Koppel Chevrolet GMC. And right now at Koppel, we are offering big discounts on all of our inventory. 2026 GMC Terrains are leasing at $279 per month or buy for $27,690. 2026 Canyons leasing for $269 or buy for $40,980. Also right now, all new Equinox EVs and all half-ton trucks are starting at $12,000 off MSRP. These are just a few examples of some of the aggressive pricing going on right now at Koppel. Please stop on in or check us out at koppelcars.com. All leases with $2,500 down with a roof credit.
When you were a kid, clubs were cool. Robotics club and space club and stuff like that. But what do adults get? Book clubs and quilting clubs? Nah, forget that. How about margarita clubs and old-fashioned clubs? Get to Upside Bar and Lounge for the best clubs in town. Try all 10 varieties of Upside margaritas or old fashions and take home a free souvenir glass. Grab the whole crew and pair it with taco night on Mondays or whiskey Wednesdays. Upside Bar and Lounge at 29th and Pine Lake.
Start your Sundays off right with Jeff and Nicole Essink on Fitness Fanatics. Jeff and Nicole discuss health and wellness, how to achieve fitness goals, and more through the life of gym owners and gym goers. It's Fitness Fanatics from 9 to 11 a.m. on Sundays on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. At DWE Generations, having a plan matters, especially when it comes to protecting what's most important. They work with individuals, families, and business owners to help make smart financial decisions that support life today and set the foundation for generations. David Darlington, Russell Walton, and Cody Eiler bring decades of experience, and their dedicated team provides follow-through, answering questions, explaining next steps, and staying connected as life evolves. DWE Generations, a generational wealth planning firm. DWE Generations is a marketing name for individuals doing business as representatives of Northwestern Mutual. Visit generations.nm.com or call 402-483-7871 and ask for David, Russell, or Cody.
It's basketball season, and Salt Mine City is your pregame and postgame headquarters in the Haymarket for craft beers and great food. Get ready for the game with their big, fatty 7-ounce hamburger or try a Reuben sandwich served on Blackstone rye bread. And don't forget their beef or chicken nachos with guacamole, sour cream, jalapenos, and more. Wash it down with one of their 12 beers on tap, including the popular Single Axle Light American Lager. Salt Mine City, your basketball headquarters, now open at 2 p.m. Monday through Thursday and 11 a.m. Friday through Sunday at 8th and R.
Nutrition Authority presents Fusion 30, an ultra-premium protein ideal for anyone wanting to look, feel, and perform their best. Fusion 30 can only be found at Nutrition Authority. Stop in today for a free sample, visit with a certified nutritionist, and get better than internet pricing. For store info, visit mynutritionauthority.com.
Good morning, Breakers. This is Scott Miller from Midwest Bank. When I recently joined Midwest Bank, I was immediately impressed by our exceptional service. My first customer made the switch from a large corporate bank and didn't have to wait in line or call a 1-800 number. We treated him like family. He now visits the bank just to say hello. While other banks go corporate, we stay Nebraska. Visit us at midwest.bank or drop by a branch today. Your community, your bank. Midwest Bank. Member FDIC.
If your home isn't delivering the year-round comfort you expect, call the experts at Bryant. Need service? Call 467-1111. Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
If you're a homeowner or a business owner, you have a lot of projects, and no one has an unlimited budget or time. Sunbelt Rentals makes all jobs less stressful, with no need to purchase large equipment or hire a crew. You can do it yourself with rentals and everything from aerators and power rakes for spring yard work to stump grinders, concrete mixers, tile saws, and more. Check out their inventory in Lincoln, north of Cornhusker Highway on 56th Street, or online at sunbeltrentals.com.
Back to Raff's Good Take on Sports on 93.7 The Ticket. With all the good takes you need, here is your host, Chris Raff.
Welcome back. Raff's Good Take on Sports on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. We just wrapped up 3 positions so far on the all-time Nebraska basketball team. Another guy in the chat says James Palmer Jr. as one of the small forwards as well. Another honorable mention. There are plenty we can go. We still got 2 more position groups to do. Small power forward and center. Raff, take it away. We got 10 more minutes left. We got plenty of time, but this is where things start to get to the nitty-gritty.
All right. Power forward, Vincent Hamilton. Vincent Hamilton. Big 12 player of the year. He's my power forward, all-time great in Nebraska history. I think there's a chance eventually you'll see his name go up into the rafters or his number go up into the rafters. So I'm going to go with Vincent Hamilton as my power forward. And then my second string power forward is going to go to Andre Smith. So Andre flipped between power forward and center while he was at Nebraska. But the kicker was 2-time All Big 8, 1980 and 81. How tall do you think Andre Smith was?
What years were they? 1981. I'm going to say he was probably an undersized guy. Was he undersized at that point?
6'7".
So for a center, yes. In then age, nowadays, it's like, oh, that guy's probably a point guard because of how basketball is played. But that's it's interesting because, and then, Hamilton, you have to have him as a star, conference player of the year. I think that is a a must have on that list. And yeah, I mean, I'm trying to think of some power forwards I liked in my, growing up. I mean, I'm trying to think, there wasn't a whole lot of power forwards, centers, a lot of powers. It's interesting, but yeah, I'd say those two are probably ones you have to have. If you're a conference player of the year and you're a Nebraska basketball player, you're a must on this list.
Yep, definitely. And I think you could add like, oh God, who are young guys? Isaiah Roby and
Isaiah Roby's one of them. He was one I was kind of thinking of, just kind of awesome.
Our other guy, the NBA dude. I'm not forgetting his name.
NBA guy right now.
Yeah,
Delano Banton.
I felt like I forget one other guy that was really good. I can't remember.
NBA guy. I'm sure. Trying
Must
to think.
Have been that great.
If you can help us out, chat. That's what happens when you're.
Who am I forgetting?
What year did he play? Recently?
Yeah, I feel like 5 or 6 years ago.
5 or 6 years ago in the NBA. NBA players. I mean, I'm trying to think. He wasn't drafted then, wasn't he?
Oh, okay, maybe I'm wrong. Yeah.
I was thinking like Bryce McGowan, Delano Banton. Those are the two that have kind of played.
Maybe I was just thinking of Isaiah Roby as two people.
I think you're thinking of Isaiah Roby because he was the other one he kind of bounced around for.
Who's the one I said? Isaiah Roby and.
I think you're Jack McVeigh, maybe from Australia.
No, Jack McVeigh, not at Nebraska. I did forget about Kamani Friend though. He was pretty good also. But no, I'm going with Andre Smith and Vincent Hamilton as my power forwards.
Yeah, I mean, Isaiah Roby's probably my day and age. Ade Daganduro was a fun one during growing up. A fun name from Nigeria. He's a fun one. So let's see what we got for center. This one should be interesting because Nebraska's had plenty of good post.
Well, number one, starting at center from Omaha, Dave Hoppin, the all-time leading scorer in Nebraska history. Is he all-time leading rebounder too? I feel like
that's Hamilton. Hamilton's got over 1,080. March has 1,015. Those are the only two guys over 1,000 career rebounds. Hoppin is fourth with 773. He's 12 in front of Rich King. Leroy Chalk has 782 with third all-time in rebounds. So he's still, top 5 rebounds. So yeah, I mean, yeah, but you're right. I mean, all-time leading scorer in program history, only guy over 2,000 career points.
Yeah,
has to happen.
Definitely my number one. He's definitely my number one. And now my second string center. This is a little bit tough for me. I'm going with Rich King. 1990, 91. I'm going to go with Rich King. He was there for the most successful season up until this year. So yeah, Rich King. I was either go Rich King or Derek Chandler, but I'm going Rich King.
I name dropped Alex March before. Another name. This guy wasn't an all-time player, but he was from Sao Paulo, Brazil. He was a co-captain in 2012, 2013. Andre Almeida. Do you remember Andre Almeida?
Yeah, Big Andre.
There was a time when he threw down a dunk one time and it was like one of the Sports Center top 10 plays, and it was just a basic dunk. So I have to give my dues to him. He was Big Ten Player of the Week, December 3rd, 2012. That week, he was Player of the Week. He was Big 12 Rookie of the Week in 2011. Ranked 6th in Big 12 in block shots that year. So 314 pounds, almost 7 foot tall, from Sao Paulo, Brazil. Another fun name, but Alex March was one I would be an honorable mention just because what he did on some of those teams that Doc Sadler had. He was a very reliable player, rebounding, scoring, and whatnot on those teams.
I agree with that.
Tough list, though.
We did leave out Mikey Moore, though. We left out Mikey Moore, but man, I'll tell you what, Mikey was the skinniest guy that I think I've ever met in my life. But man, he had some game though. He spent 10, 11 years in the NBA, maybe longer. I mean, what a career he put together in the NBA for I remember when I first met him, I was just like, he was probably 6'10" and about 215 when I first met him. If that, he was skinny, but man, I'll tell you what he did in the NBA was awesome. So
it's hard to gauge as the top 10 guys too. Like that is so hard to do, but a really good team. I mean, I wonder how that team would stack up against some all-time teams as well, because put together a team with Dave Hoppin and company. I mean, hey, who knows? It's all that fantasy basketball talk about. So Before we get out of here, Raff, what's a good take?
All right, everybody. Today's Raff's good take goes out to the Team Jack Foundation. They had the Team Jack Gala Saturday night in Lincoln. Had Cincinnati Bengals head coach, former Husker quarterback Zach Taylor as the keynote speaker. Just what they do is so amazing for pediatric brain cancer. Then, just the tributes that I'm sure that they had for Jack and his dad Andy, and everything that they did for the state of Nebraska. Just everybody that comes together for that. Rex Burkhead, Kenny Bell, Amir Abdullah, and the list goes on and on of all the former greats that come back for that special night. So I just wanted to give Raff's good take and a big thank you for everything that they do to the Team Jack Foundation. You guys are Raff's good take.
So that the Jack Hoffman run during that spring game, I remember I was in Kansas City with my family during that, and I remember seeing it all over social media and or Instagram or whatever it was back then, because it wasn't what social media is today. And that was a really cool moment during that. I wasn't there, but it's like, hey, that's a really touching moment. You see it now all the time in these spring games as well. You get to see other kids and other get honored and get to have a situation like that where they get to live out a dream and have a moment like that. So,
well, and then also too, I want to say, Bo Pelini takes a bad rap from a lot of people, and that was the brainchild of Bo Pelini to do that play in the spring game. So big ups to Bo Pelini for coming up with that amazing idea. So shout out Bo Pelini.
So before we get out of here, I was in Kansas City during that weekend. This is another one of my childhood memories I remember. So we were at this hotel in Kansas City, my parents and my sisters and me. And we're about to leave the hotel and check out or whatnot or whatever we were doing. And all of a sudden, some guy goes, "Nick, Chad Ochocinco's coming down, walking in here." So I got a photo. I'd have to find it with Chad. I was like 13 or 12 or whatever I was at the time with Chad Ochocinco. This is when he was trying out for the MLS at the time in Kansas.
Yes.
So, and like he was in a hurry. Like this guy had bags of stuff. And he wanted to take, he's like, one photo, and that one photo was with me. This guy, I'm wearing like a Husker, like zip up jacket. I got this long hair in my face. I'm, it's cold outside, but yes, I got a photo with Chad Ochocinco of all people.
You got to find that. I
have it. It was like my Facebook profile photo when I was like 12. Cause like at the time that was a really cool thing. It's like Chad Ochocinco was a character and he's cool. I'll have to find
this late night with Big Play Shay and Ochocinco. I mean, you got to find that, post it, tweet it. You got to get on Late Night with Ocho and Big Play Shay.
I have tweeted it before. I don't know what it was for. It's just like, I think it was like a tweet that was like, name the most obscure athlete you've ran into. And I was like, well, this is quite the story, out of, what are the odds where I'm like, I'm 12 at the time. So I grew up watching Chad when he was Chad Johnson with the Bengals, and he had that run with her. He had the Hall of Fame jacket on the sideline and whatnot. So he was a character, but we're out of time. Raff, we'll let you get out of here. Coming up next, we have Don't Punt Hour, Des Moines Personnel. Stick with us here on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Bauer Underground has been serving